So she had like an entire cat in her vagina. It was really weird. Oh, it's you guys. Hello there, YouTube. I'm Nick ReviewMX, and I'm still a person from the internet. Well, a while back, I did a video where I sat in front of the camera here, and I sort of half-jokingly said that if I got 20 video responses to that video, where people would punch themselves in the balls, or get punched in the balls, or hit, some sort of testicular trauma, that I would play the game Earthbound, which is a terrible, terrible RPG that I hate, for an hour and upload the video. So you would get, a lot of you would get what you've always sort of wanted, a video of Earthbound on my channel for a full hour, because I usually only do 20 minutes. And I'm here to announce the results of that challenge. Like I said, I was sort of joking, but at the same time, the intent was always that if people really did this, then I feel that I would have to follow through because, I'm not looking to, fuck anyone over. And if any guys out there are actually willing to, get their testes mashed or mash their own testes, then the least I could do is play a stupid game for an hour. And it seems, I just want to talk about a few things. Seems the reasoning behind people really wanting to see a video of Earthbound varies from person to person. Weird. The screen on my camera is like bouncing off the Xbox 360, which is sitting behind it. It just looks weird. Anyway, the reasons seem to vary. Some people like Earthbound and they just love to watch videos of it, and I don't know why they would want to see me specifically play it because I think it's a bad game. But yeah, they want to see it. And then there are some people who know that I don't like Earthbound, and they want me to play it because it's going to be annoying for me to play, and they want to see me suffer. And then there are people who are sort of in the same camp that I am, that they think it's a bad game, that it's overrated, and they want to see me make fun of it and just bash on it for about an hour. So I do get a lot of requests for Earthbound, and I just wanted to get a few things out of the way. First, I keep getting this same question over and over again. People want to know why I don't like Earthbound, and I get this, and I've explained it many times, and I'm going to explain it one last time here, because they're like, I don't get it, I don't understand why you don't like Earthbound. I don't like it because it's a bad game. Just because you don't think it's a bad game does not mean that that is not a legitimate opinion. A lot of people like it, and that's fine, and I don't, and that's also fine. From a game design standpoint, it's really very mediocre. It pretty much, is like a sort of Dragon Quest knockoff with a really bad story. I can't even really get into too much specifics about the story because it's been so long that since I've played it. But even, as a teenager, I knew that it was a bad story, and this is saying something, because I thought Breath of Fire had a good story, and Breath of Fire has an okay story, but it's so badly translated that it's really bad in terms of the story, and then the graphics are just really unappealing. And you have to consider when the game came out, which works against it, because it came out a full year after Final Fantasy VI, which was one of the best looking games on the Super NES. I think it might have even come after Chrono Trigger, I'm not sure on that one. But it definitely came out a year after Final Fantasy VI, and I don't understand why it looked like crap. If you were to look at like a game like Final Fantasy IV, which came out many years earlier, it looks infinitely better. The music is like the only really good part of Earthbound, but it's not like this amazing thing. And I get these people that they're so into the game, and really, when I say I hate Earthbound, what I really hate is how overrated it is. The actual game itself is just meh. Like if I was to rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, I would give it a 5. It's very average and boring and middle of the road. And there are so many amazing RPGs to be played on the Super NES that I don't understand why people like Earthbound so much. I understand people think the whole nostalgia trip, but honestly, nostalgia, first of all, the literal meaning of nostalgia is the pain of an old wound. And it means reminiscing about something good from your past. It doesn't mean thinking something is good because you had it as a kid when it's really not and you didn't know any better. That's not what nostalgia is, and it's not good for nostalgic reasons. It's not so bad it's good. It's just bad. And that's something that I'm never going to really change my stance on, and you guys, some of you are going to have to get over it. The next thing I want to talk about very briefly was the response I got to the Earthbound challenge video. I didn't know that there were so many people out there that agreed with me that also hate Earthbound. I had it in my head that this was sort of a really, really beloved game that almost everybody really loves, and I was like the only schmuck who didn't like it. And it turns out there are a lot of people who actually agree with me. And then, of course, I did get some, some haters. Hataz. I got the haters, and they were all like, "Oh my God, you suck. You don't like Earthbound. I'm unsubscribing." And honestly, like, good riddance. Not because I don't want people who like Earthbound to enjoy my videos. I'd prefer it if many people enjoyed my videos, but I don't want people hanging around if they're the sort of person that is going to get angry, like legitimately angry, and start cursing and frothing at the mouth and clawing at their flesh and freaking out and screaming and unsubscribing and doing all sorts of crazy shit because I don't like a video game. I mean, seriously, I always want, why do you give a shit about my opinion? I don't give a shit about anybody else's opinion if they like Earthbound. I have friends that like Earthbound. It doesn't mean I won't tell them it's a piece of shit, and they'll tell me it's a masterpiece, and we could just have to agree to disagree. But anyway, you all want to know, and here's the part of the video where you're going to find out what you want to know. How many responses did I get, and will I be playing the game? Well, I thought that I would easily get 20 responses with people smashing themselves in the nuts because of the fervor that I've seen in Earthbound fans and how dedicated they are to this game and how crazy they are about it. And I mean, me and a couple other people, like my friend Tanya, I've always said that Earthbound fans are a little off, and we figured they'd be willing to do this. 0 responses on that. And you know what it is that I forgot the one very simple rule, is that nobody wants to be the first person to step into the arena and do something painful and humiliating. And I did get a lot of responses as to, oh, I would do it if there were 19 people who had already did it. I would do it if I was going to be number 20. And a few people were like, wouldn't it be funny if there were only 19 by the time the New Year's rolls around, so 19 people punch themselves in the nuts for nothing? And I got a lot of people who are trying to negotiate, like, well, if it's only 10 people do it, would you play it for a half hour? And no, of course not. The deal was non-negotiable. I said that very clearly, non-negotiable. It had to be 20. However, I also threw out a sort of secondary deal because I realized that if I was asking people to punch themselves in the balls, that this was only open to men. And the demographics on my channel are something like 85% guys and 15% girls. So that's the vast majority of my viewership. But I did feel like I was excluding the women. So I offered that if I, instead of 20 guys punching themselves in the nuts, if I got one of my female viewers to send me a naked picture, then that would also do it. And I got like one person who was actually a friend of mine who was saying that she was gonna do it, that she was gonna send me a naked picture of her just so she could torture me and put me through the game. But she wussed out, and I mean, that would have been interesting, but I mean, she has a boyfriend, and she didn't want to get in trouble or nothing, and I don't want to ruin anybody's life or anything like that. I just wanted to see how crazy Earthbound fans were. But I did get a naked picture of a woman in my YouTube email, and I don't want to. I can't say who for several reasons. First off, the person did make an account just to do this, and secondly, even if it was somebody that like I knew or it was just like their regular account, I'm not going to put them on blast like that. I'm not going to say, hey, I got naked pictures of this bitch. I'm not going to do that. That wouldn't be right. It would be humiliating for them. They already took their clothes off and sent me a picture. And there were two stipulations. One was that I had to know that it was them. I'm not, like an idiot. Somebody could just take some naked picture of a woman from the internet and send it to me and say it's them. So they had to either write my name on, like, her stomach or across the titties or whatever, or hold up a piece of paper that says it. And this woman did that. She has a notepad and she held it up and it says my name on it. And the other stipulation was that the person had to be reasonably attractive. And I gotta say, yeah, very nice. I was pleased. I mean, it sucks that I gotta play Earthbound, and I will be doing it, and I will be doing it tonight, by the way. It's, can't see the goddamn clock. Okay, it's 12:30 in the morning right now, and I don't work tonight. So right after I get done uploading this video, I'm going to start doing the Earthbound thing, and, it'll hopefully be up in a few hours, so I'm going to do that tonight. So, the downside is that I got to waste an hour of my time playing a game that I don't like. The upside is I got to see some titties. I don't know whose they were. She had, only, the lower half of the face, the top half was cut off, and they made an account just for it. But like I said, even if I knew exactly who it was, I wasn't going to tell you or anything. I don't want to embarrass the person any more than already having to sit in a chair and show me the titties. So that was very, very, very cool. And I was discussing with some people. They're like, well, does it have to be fully nude? And I said, well, I didn't mention specifics in the video, but I did say nude. So, and this person is nude, and please don't ask me for a picture. I'm not going to send it to you. So please don't bother with that. I'm not going to send it to you. So anyway, yeah, I will be playing Earthbound. The title of this video also says that there's some other things I want to talk about. Actually, there's one other thing that I want to talk about. Tomorrow, we're going to start the regular schedule. And if you remember the Facebook, you already know what videos I'm doing tomorrow. And so that's going to be a thing. Every day on Facebook, I will be announcing the next day's videos. So that's another reason to join it, Another thing is people have been asking me, since it's 2013 now, it's January, well, it's January 2nd now because it's after midnight, but what the best game of the year was, and I talked on Facebook about this, and actually on Facebook, I asked people what they thought was the game of the year, and I got a lot of interesting responses. A lot of people were talking about Far Cry 3 and Dishonored and The Walking Dead and a few other games. And a lot of great games came out this year. I mean, Dishonored is a spectacular game. Spec Ops: The Line. That's Final Fantasy. I don't know where Spec Ops is. It's not sitting here, but I do have it. But for me, the number one game of 2012, because people have been asking me, what do you think game of the year 2012? Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii. Absolutely one of the best RPGs I've ever played in my life. It's not even close. Nothing else came close. Not even The Last Story, which is also not there, but I do have it somewhere. I think it's sitting over there somewhere. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles, by far game of the year 2012, my pick. The last thing is we are starting the new schedule, but there might be sort of a hiccup sometime in January because I am in the planning stages of getting a new PC. I've had this PC. It's a, you guys are going to laugh at this because a lot of people assume that I have this awesome computer because I do these videos and everything. I have a Dell Dimension E521, which I did it through Dell, and I custom built it through Dell, and it was top of the line when I bought it in 2007. So, it's been like 6, 7 years since I had the computer, and that's a long time. It really is. I've replaced parts. Some of you might remember when I couldn't do videos for a while because my power supply went and my hard drive went. I also upgraded the RAM. Um, but it's old. It's on its last legs in a lot of ways, and I now can actually afford a new computer. So I may do a video showing off the new computer, but everything. But it might take me a day or two to sort of transfer a lot of things over and set up a lot of the things like programs that I use to make videos, you know. So there might be like a day or two where I don't do videos, and that's why, you know. So anyway, keep your eyes peeled for the Earthbound video. It will be going up soon, and to the mystery woman that sent me the naked picture, thank you. I mean, she sort of sent like a comment like, haha, fucker, you're gonna have to play the best RPG ever, and I'm like, fuck you, Earthbound sucks, but I'm gonna be making fun of it the whole time. But thank you for showing me your cans. They were very nice, and I appreciate that. You're a very brave woman, and this really shows that women are brave, and men can be pussies, because you guys were like, oh, I'm afraid of hurting my balls. Oh. Come on, really? At least I didn't ask for naked pictures. I mean, imagine if I was gay and I wanted naked pictures. That's far more embarrassing and painful. I mean, not physically painful, but emotionally painful. So anyway, yeah, that is it. I'll see you guys in a few hours with the Earthbound thing. Motherfucker.